Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Ronald Araujo because he gave an interview with Sport in which he talked about a variety of Barcelona topics and he gave some insight into the Barcelona atmosphere, his relationship with the club, and as well his future. And I want to discuss those words on today's video. And then towards the end of the video, guys, I'm going to be, talking about Vitor Roque as we have some more news. Everything has been made official. He has left Barcelona to join Palmeiras, and so we're going to be talking about that as well. But as always, guys, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video. Let's talk about Ronald Araujo, a player who has recently renewed with Barcelona, and he gave an exclusive interview to both Juan Martí on Barcelona and about a wide range of Barcelona topics. He starts off by talking about Barcelona's strong season so far, and he says the team is having a great season, and it's reflected in the results. Winning the Super Cup was important for us, especially with such a young squad. The fans are excited, and you can see the work we're putting in. At the start, there were doubts because last season wasn't what we wanted, and in a club like Barca, you're expected to win. But with Hansi's arrival and the changes across the club, you can see a different energy in the team. And I'm in 100% agreement with Ronald Araujo right there. The atmosphere is completely different this season to what it was last season. Last season, it was a season of negativity. Barcelona, we weren't getting the results and we weren't playing well. Barcelona, we lost the Supercopa de España in what was a humiliating defeat against Real Madrid. And in the Champions League, we weren't doing much better. But this season, it's been a completely different story. Barcelona, they are first in La Liga. They are currently they finished second in the UCL group phase or whatever you guys call it, and we are now approaching the round of 16. We've won the Supercopa de España in what was a dominating fashion in that 5-2 victory over Real Madrid, and there is still a lot of exciting work to be done. Ronald Araujo now talks about his contract renewal and his commitment to Barcelona, and this is key because I would want to pay special attention to this goal. And he says, I was always clear that I wanted to stay. We were negotiating certain factors in the contract, but that's normal. I never had doubts. I had offers to leave, but I believed in this project and wanted to be part of it. Now the club is in a better place, and I want to enjoy the good times too. My family is in Barcelona, and I hope to fulfill my entire contract. That's why I signed a long-term deal. Now, it's interesting that he says that he's never had doubts, because if you never have doubts, then why are you going to be, entertaining those other offers? But, looking at these quotes from Araujo, it's clear that his intention is to stay at Barcelona and have a successful career. But I never closed the door on a potential Ronald Araujo exit because, even though he says he didn't have doubts, he did entertain other offers. And looking at how Hansi Flick is utilizing him in this system and his lack of playing time, who knows? He could leave in the future, maybe this upcoming summer or in the seasons that follow. But that does not mean I want Ronald Araujo out, guys. I think Ronald Araujo is an absolute huge pillar in this team, and he is a center back that I would want in this team. Just when you look at a player's contract situation, you have to keep that in mind. And Ronald Araujo, he talks about his role as a captain in this Barcelona squad. He says, I never imagined this. When I was 17, I was back home playing for Uruguayan, and Barca felt like a distant dream. Now I'm one of the captains, and it comes with a big responsibility. We have a very young squad, and I try to lead by examples. The younger players bring energy. They're always joking and watching TikToks, but when it's time to be serious, they listen. That balance is important for the team. And I 100% agree with there. It's always good to have that balance, to have that fun, and at the same time, knowing to be serious and knowing when to, put your focus on the footballing side, as this is your profession, this is your career. But, Ronald Araujo, he also places some big emphasis on that responsibility as Barcelona captain, and that's key because, as he said, this is a very young squad, and he has to be a leader and a figure for these young players to look up to. And even then, Ronald Araujo, he isn't that old either. He's what, 24, 25, roughly in that age range, and so he is one of the most experienced players in this Barcelona squad. But he isn't, let's say a Lewandowski or a Szczesny, for example. But it's very good that Ronald Araujo, he is doing his part in trying to be a role model for the young players. Now Hansi Flick, now Ronald Araujo talks about Hansi Flick, his leadership, and he says, yes, he is the leader of this team. He's the one who moves everything, makes the decisions, and brought his philosophy. But beyond him, many things have changed at the club. Physical preparation, medical staff, and overall work ethic. Having almost the entire squad available has made us more competitive. The team is running well, and you can see the difference on the pitch. He continues on, and he talks about that German communication with Hansi Flick, and he says, you can't understand a thing. When the staff speaks among themselves, it's impossible to follow. But the coach speaks English softly, so we can understand him well. Still, German is tough. No chance I'll learn it. Now, German is a very difficult language, especially if you're not necessarily very well-versed, let's say, in the Germanic languages, because it's sort of easier to learn English and German. I'm not saying it's easy whatsoever. I'm just saying it's a little bit easier. But it's interesting to see how Ronald Araujo, he speaks on that language barrier. Ronald Araujo, he now moves on. He talks about the team's locker room DJ. He says Lamine is in charge of the music, both in the dressing room and during trips. Ansu also plays a lot of reggaeton, but sometimes we ask for something different. I try to sneak in some cumbia, but they don't always let me. And it's always nice to get these these quotes and to basically have some insight into the Barcelona squad, because it makes them a little bit more human. It doesn't make them, sort of, let's say, like idols or celebrities or some faraway person that we can't really relate to. Ron Rajo, he talks about his habits, and he says, I always drink mate. There are several of us who drink it. Ferran takes it with me, and even then he makes it himself at home. Lewandowski, Eric, Raphinha, and Ansu also drink it. At first, it tastes bitter, but over time, you start to like it. Plus, it keeps you hydrated. And also, that's a good opportunity for the squad to bond, and that's something that's very, very key for the squad. You want to have players who have very strong relationships, because that is what builds a foundation for Barcelona to succeed in the season. And this is also, some very big quotes from Ronald Araujo in regards to Lamine Yamal. He talks about his evolution, and he says, at first, when Lamine came up, he was a bit hesitant. He wouldn't always take players on, and you could see that he was still adjusting. But now he comes straight at you with confidence. He hooks you in, shows you the ball, hides it, and before you know it, he's gone. He's special. And funny enough, I actually watched the interview. I watched that little bit, and Araujo, he was always jokingly talking about Lamine Yamal, because in that statement, he talks about how Lamine, he didn't want to go 1v1 versus Araujo when he first started to come up through, but now he's always looking for the 1v1. He's always trying to beat Araujo, and that's such a very, I would say, nice bit of battle between the two, and it just speaks to Lamine Yamal's talent. He's absolutely crazy for a 17-year-old to compete, going head-to-head with what is one of the best center-backs in the world. Ronald Araujo, he also talks about Ansu Fati. He says, I have a lot of affection for Ansu. He's like a little brother to me. He's training well, with confidence, even though it's tough when you're not getting called upon or playing regularly. But I don't see him sad. He's pushing himself to convince the coach. When we were both coming back from injuries, we played 1v1, and I saw him flying. He has the talent. He just needs minutes on the pitch. Now, that's interesting. That's interesting because, I have heard different reports in regards to Ansu, but Ronald Araujo, he is in the training sessions. He is involved every single day. And I want to, look at that in deeper detail. I want to see, more of Ansu, because in the minutes that we have seen of Ansu, he's been very disappointing. And if Ronald Araujo, he has that faith, then when is Hansi Flick going to give him another chance to see, hey, can he show something that could possibly make me change my mind and play him more often? But it's very difficult with the squad being so competitive. And Ansu Fati, he has a lot of work to be done before he can come back into the squad and even get some minutes. Ronald Araujo, he now moves on and talks about Pau Cubarsí. It says, Pau is really good, very intelligent. He reminds me a lot of Piqué with the way he finds passes through the lines. Despite being so young, he plays with personality and composure. We have that connection at the back. also with Inigo now. He's important for the team, and I hope he keeps growing like this. And you guys all know my thoughts on Pau Cubarsí. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. I think he's one of the best center backs in the world, top 3 minimum, and it just speaks to his talent as a defender. He is Barcelona's most important defender in this point in time, and that is just amazing praise for what it is, a 18-year-old. That's absolutely insane, and I'm so confident that Barcelona are going to have a pillar in that back line to rely on for so many more years. Ronald Araujo, he now talks about Raphinha, about handling that pressure at Barcelona. He says, at a club like Barcelona, you always have pressure in every game, in every moment, but Raphinha has always had talent. He just needed confidence and to feel happy. Now he's showing his best version, and that's what matters for a player to perform at the highest level. And those were the quotes from Ronald Araujo in that interview with Sport. He talked about a wide range of Barcelona topics, and I want to know your guys' opinions on those words. Was there anything in particular that caught your guys' eye, or that made you say, hey, I want to dive in a little bit deeper into that? For example, his contract situation, did that catch you off guard, or did you say, hey, you know what, I'm glad that Araujo is committed to Barcelona? Or are you more interested in Araujo's words in regards to Lamine Yamal, talking about his talent and how special that he is? But let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And the last piece of news I did want to discuss with you guys today is in regards to Vitor Roque, because everything has been made official. Roque is now a Palmeiras player. He joins Palmeiras, and something that I did not know is that with the sale of Vitor Roque, Barcelona will not be insuring any financial loss. Of the 30 million euro transfer fee, Barcelona only have 23.5 million euros remained to be amortized, and that means that that Palmeiras, their 25 million euro payment, which we are getting from that Vitor Roque transfer, it covers this and also helps Barcelona in their financial fair play, allowing also for Barcelona in the future to go after for the contract renewals of players such as Inigo Martinez and Lamine Yamal. Now, obviously, it is a negative that Barcelona lose some percentage on Abde on his sell-on clause, but what's most important is that Barcelona, they recuperate that amount of money that we did pay for Vitor Roque, and even then, Barcelona, they even haven't paid all of the amount to Atletico Paranaense for that move, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, we wish Roque the very best. We talked about it on Monday's episode, and we will be wishing him all the very best. Hopefully, he is able to have a successful career in Brazil and is able to maybe return to Europe. But guys, that was it for the Barcelona news of the day. Definitely let me know your thoughts on everything that I've discussed on today's video. What do you guys make of Ronald Araujo's interview? And lastly, that Vitor Roque news. But as always, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.